And welcome back, and thank you so much for joining me in today's video. This is a monthly update I make for you guys regarding foreclosures as well as late payments on mortgage loans in the US. In today's video, I'm actually going to touch on two new reports. One's from CoreLogic and the other one is actually from Black Knight, which is a giant data analytics firm that supports the mortgage and of course the real estate industries here. So with that said, I have a lot to share. Let's go ahead and dive right in. The first report was just announced today. I hope you guys appreciate these timely housing market updates. I actually really love providing this analysis, and also I love doing the research anyways, but it's just kind of fun to share it with you guys. Let's have a look at this. So just posted on the 30th, which again is today, from CoreLogic. This is a monthly report, and they actually touch on trends we're seeing right now at a national level, statewide level, and of course the cities in the US as well here. So overall in the US, the overall mortgage delinquency rate this January was 2.8%, down 0.5 percentage points from 1 year ago when the rate was 3.3%. So the overall mortgage delinquency rate in the US right now, which is defined as at least 30 days or more past due on their loan, is at 2.8%. 1 year ago, it was at 3.3%. According to the principal economist at CoreLogic, Molly Bosold, she says the share of home loans in delinquency continues to decrease, down from a high of 7.3% in the spring of 2020. Now again, it's 2.8%. The annual decrease in overall delinquencies was primarily driven by a large decline in the share of mortgages at least 6 months or more past due. Despite the drop in overall rates, the foreclosure rate has slowly crept up. Although it remains near an all-time record low, about 30,000 more U.S. homeowners are now involved in the foreclosure process for the month of January this year. And stay tuned here in just a little bit, because Black Knight actually reported February's numbers and reported a little bit different of a story here. So some changes occurring from January through February this year. So looking at CoreLogic's report right here, the overall rate is at 2.8%. And here are some states here that have rates that are far above the nation's averages. So Louisiana at 5.5%, Mississippi at 5.4%, West Virginia at 4.1%, and New York, Alabama, and Oklahoma around 4% right now. And again, this is based on the rate of people who are late on their mortgages of at least 30 days or more past due. CoreLogic also provided these different buckets right here regarding different stages of delinquencies as well. So in a dark green here is actually January 2023, and in brighter green here is in 2022. So for 30 days or more past due, 50 to 59, and these other buckets as well, more or less the same percentage this year compared to last year. Now here's the big difference though. So for 120 days more past due, so at least 4 months past due on their loans, we saw a big decrease from 1.5%. Now it's only 0.9%. CoreLogic also provided the following here. They said U.S. mortgage performance barely moved in January, with overall delinquency and foreclosure numbers hovering near historical lows. Although annual home equity gains slowed significantly in the fourth quarter of 2022, in other words, because home prices decreased in the fourth quarter of 2022, homeowners don't have much equity on their houses, or don't have as much home equity on their houses. But the average borrower still has about $270,000 in equity, which can help safeguard against foreclosures. Additionally, although there have been some layoffs in the tech industry, the U.S. unemployment rate remained at less than 4% in the first 2 months of 2023. CoreLogic also reported that there was not a single state in the U.S. that posted an increase on a year-over-year basis regarding the overall delinquency rate. And the overall delinquency rate is defined as at least 30 days or more past due, including loans in foreclosure. What this means, of course, is that back in January, every single state recorded a decrease or remained the same compared to 1 year ago regarding the overall rate. In fact, the largest decreases were actually in Alaska, New York, as well as Washington, D.C., all declining by 1 percentage point compared to January of 2022. CoreLogic also provides some context regarding serious delinquencies, which is defined as at least 90 days or more past due, at least 3 months past due on their loans or on their payment. So there's only 2 metro areas in the US that they track in which their serious delinquency rate actually increased. In contrast, there was 382 metros in which the rate actually decreased compared to 12 months ago. And here's a map of the US in which they show the rates of serious delinquency changes on a year-over-year basis here. So the rate of changes compared to 1 year ago. So the only metro areas that actually recorded an increase were in Southwest Florida right here, and also in this part of Pennsylvania, which is in the middle part of Pennsylvania on the eastern side. My geography is not the best for Pennsylvania, but if you guys live there or know where this area is, then please comment below. In contrast, the metros that recorded the biggest decreases on a year-over-year basis were in southeastern Louisiana right here, and also in western Texas, right along the New Mexico and Texas border right there. Okay, that was the latest report from CoreLogic, which again was just posted today. Let's have a look at Black Knight, what they had to say just a few days ago regarding the rates in February this year. It says the national mortgage delinquency rate increased 7 basis points in February to 3.45%, but remains down by 12.6% year over year. Black Knight also noted that overall delinquency rates, again, for people late on their housing payments, increased by 36,000 this February. Also, 45 states saw their serious delinquency volumes, in other words, 90 days or more past due, actually improve in February. Also, remember when I said that CoreLogic reported an increase in foreclosure rates in January? In February, it actually got reversed here, because Black Knight's reporting that foreclosure starts actually decreased by 9% this February. This means foreclosure starts are still about 19% below pre-pandemic levels. And here's a table showing delinquency rates as well as foreclosures as well. So the overall loan delinquency rate is at 3.45%, an increase of almost 2 percentage points compared to January this year, but still down by 12.5% compared to February of 2022. Also for February, there was 7,100 foreclosure sales and about 29,000 foreclosure starts. Of course, that's the beginning phase of the foreclosure process of a house. That was down at 9.35% from 1 month ago and a decrease of 4% from 1 year ago, whereas foreclosure sales actually increased by 41.5% from February of 2022. In regards to properties at least 90 days or more past due, there's approximately 562,000 in the US, but that's down 17,000 from last month and down nearly 400,000 from a year ago. Black Knight also shared the states that have the highest rates of non-current loans. In other words, the highest rates of loans past due. So leading the nation was Mississippi at 7.94%. That was followed by Louisiana, Alabama, Arkansas, and West Virginia. And again, the overall rate in the US is at 3.45%, much lower than these 5 states right here. In contrast, Black Knight also shared the states that have the lowest rates of non-current loans. In other words, the highest rates in which people are actually paying their mortgages right now. So leading the nation here with the lowest rate is Washington at 2.05%, much lower than the 3.5% nationally here. That was followed by Colorado at 2.1%, Idaho, Montana, and then California at 2.32%. All these rates right here are not too much far off the all-time record lows that were set right here at around 2%. So for example, in Washington at 2.05% this February, not too much far off the 1.88% that they saw back in September of 2022. And with that said, please comment below with your biggest takeaways from today's video. Also, if you guys got any value in this video whatsoever, then please hit the like button. I greatly appreciate that. Of course, I appreciate you. Hope you guys have an awesome day, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video.